glaube, dann fangen. Oh, da kommt noch. Kommt auch keiner. Nee, okay, dann fangen wir jetzt hier an. Der Alexander Ziesemer ja, wird uns jetzt hier über DSAG Security Survey einiges erzählen und ja, dann kannst du auch loslegen, wenn der Key reingekommen ist.
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Okay, yes, then I can start. Also, Alex, my name. I'm employee from ThyssenKrupp Business Services. Ja? Okay, gut, dann mache ich das in Deutsch.
Ja, ist also Deutsch kann ich sagen. Nur den Hinweis gemacht, wir wollen das hier nicht alles online stellen. Ach so, okay, ja, oh, sorry. Okay, cool. Falls ihr eine größere Audience erreichen wollt, ja, ist es vielleicht ganz gut, das in Englisch zu machen. Also auf Deutsch habe ich den ja schon am Mittwoch gehört, von daher.
Ja, genau. Dann hast du jetzt das Glück, ne? Okay, then in English, today in English.
Selbstegoismus von dir, oder?
Ja, ich bin ja auch Organizer hier. Also bitte,
okay.
But now you have the great pleasure to hear it in English. Okay.
Fine, thanks.
I have. I'm an employee from ThyssenKrupp. I'm at home here every day, so I'm happy. I'm glad to be here and to present you the results from the German-speaking SAP user group. Perhaps you know this. We have 60,000 people in our community, 3,500 companies, and we are talking close to SAP to make the software better and to find problems. And what we have done with this survey is to find out which is in the sub-security and what are topics which we have to talk to SAP. And I will present you the results. Some results are very surprising, and I hope you will, and I will make it a little bit interactive, so I will ask also you some questions that we can see how you do think about this. Okay, 1 second. Mouse. Okay. First of all, I would like to tell, why do you think we need sub-security? What is important in this area? And when you have a look here in the internet, every month the SAP offers the sub-security day. It's a patch day. Every month on Thursday, the SAP offers which are the mistakes or the vulnerabilities in the software. And here you can see on March, for example, hot news. The CVSS score it depends from 1 to 10. So if it's like near 10, it's very critical software vulnerability. In the next month, here in April, also. Here the high priority in the identity management software, and every month it's normal that are published sub-security notes, and every month every company must look at this vulnerabilities, and they have to check if they will implement it or not. And if we will not implement, they have a vulnerability in their software. And sometimes it's very critical, because you can find on YouTube there's a possibility how you can use this vulnerabilities, and it's possible to go directly to the data in the SAP system, and you can have a look at it, and it's a critical. So what we have done is a German-speaking SAP user group. Last year we have made this survey to find out which are the topics in SAP security, and we have restarted the survey at the beginning of this year again, and I have the chance to tell you the results and how I have structured my presentation. First of all, I will say directly what we have found out and what we have to tell to the SAP. What are our demands? And what has SAP to change? Four points. Then I will describe you a little bit how we have built this the survey, which hypothesis we have find out, what we are thinking about, and then I will only describe a little bit statistical data, you will see, and then the results in V, and at the end I will give you some takeaways. Okay, what we have found out, and we are speaking right now together to the SAP about these topics. The first one is, we told the SAP we need more security by design and more security by default. What does it mean? Yeah, we are wondering a little bit because SAP offers new software, and then when you install the new software, you have to look at them to see perhaps if reporting and logging is installed, or if encryption is installed. Our idea is when you get new software, there must be it must be rolled out with encryption is enabled and logging and monitoring is enabled. So we have to change this at SAP. And also, security by design. What does it mean? When SAP buys new software, it must be directly clear that maybe you go to a cloud solution, and SAP has bought maybe Concur or Ariba or something like this. Directly must be logging and monitoring in the cloud also available, and we have to talk to SAP that maybe in the version 15, 16 they start then in the past. Then was logging and monitoring. So security by design it means security have to start directly at the beginning of when SAP will offer software in the market. The next point means without a good dashboarding, even the best security concepts may be a nightmare and cannot be implemented. So we need a good dashboard. SAP doesn't offer this right now. If customers go to SAP or will look to their systems, on-premise solutions or also in the cloud, and will ask, what is the status of the security for my software? You will get no answer. You have to look in this environment for cloud, you have to ask the SAP, and it's very difficult. And so that we say we need a good dashboard. Yeah, and also we need good concepts for the cloud environments. Third point is, we say to SAP, SAP offers a lot of white papers, security recommendations, configuration guides, and they must be up to date, also for technical people and also for managers, for decision makers. I will describe you a little bit later in depth. And the fourth point is,
Can we see the points?
I'm so sorry about this. Okay, yeah. Second point, good dashboards. Third point, they must update the white papers and so on. And the last point means, cloud security is today a major topic, of course, but however, we need also new solutions for the on-premise solutions. And other topics are also important. It's like security by default, patch management, and updated security guidelines. These are the demand which we are talking directly today, also to SAP, and they have to do something for us customers. Okay, how we have built up the survey. First of all, we here I will describe you at 4 examples. We think before we started, we think maybe here we have built some hypotheses, like we mean the SAP security guidelines or SAP security policies. We think only large companies will have something like this. And then we created the question for the survey: are you aware of any existing general guidelines or policies regarding SAP security in the company? Next point, our idea was that, or what we think, that centralized SAP security dashboards are not used in big companies. So we formulate the questions: does your company employ a centralized SAP security dashboard? Next one deals with investments. Our idea was that the investments will decrease, it will not increase. So we asked the questions: have you made any investment within the last 2 months in order to minimize risk and significantly improve the security of the SAP systems? And last topic, white papers and guidelines and recommendations, system recommendations, are only for technical guides. So we formulate the questions: for what purpose do you require SAP security action guidelines, operation recommendations, or white papers in your company? And this was our idea from the questionnaire, from the survey. And right now I will go directly to some results, but I need only to explain some statistical data. Last year, this year, roundabout, we get 170, 180 answers, and this was a very short questionnaire. You will see it in some seconds, how it was built up. And then we have about 10 or 12 questions, and the detailed, specialized section, we have asked something around 25 questions. Our idea was that normally a lot of people will fill out the short one and will not go to the long version, and we are very surprised that maybe around about 140 people answered also the technical and specialized section. So it was very helpful for us, and I can describe you in both questionnaire we get the same answers. And that we are able to say we have find out a trend. And SAP also said, okay, you make it twice, you get the same results, and it is also helpful for SAP that they see this not only maybe a ThyssenKrupp or a Daimler or whatever, a company says, yes, we have found out there's something not good, but here we have a good basic with more than 170 companies who say us which we have to make better in the future. And the results are also built up. The inner circle is from the results from 2018, and the outer ring is from this year. And which roles or which people answer the questionnaire? We have 3 big roles: basic administrators, security specialists, and here are the consultants, and here are the security specialists. It's helpful for us that maybe last year or maybe this year only CIOs or CEOs would have answered the questionnaire. Then we can see when the answers are not the same like last year. Then we can see, okay, it must be a reason that other people answered the questionnaire, but same people answered. The SAP also, the German-speaking SAP user group asked for which country. Of course, maybe more than 80% come from Germany, and which industry perspective we can found. 50% from trade and services, 30 a third production industry. And what is also important for the questionnaire, that we can look at the company size. This year, nearly 50%, 45% were from big companies, and last year it was more than 60%, 40% from middle big companies. And this is the reason why we look in the answers also to the company size, that you can see some difference in the answers. Okay, and this is also important. We asked, did you participate the survey from the last year? And this is also important because we find out more than 60% use the questionnaire for the first time. And we get the same answers like last year. So this is the reason why we can say we have found a trend. This is helpful for us and also for the SAP. Okay, let us go to the results. First question. I will ask you first, and then you can see the answers. Are you aware of any existing guidelines or security policy in your company? Who would like to say yes? Does your company have a sub-security policy? Who will say yes?
Yes.
Okay. 5. No. Who will say no? Who has no idea? Okay. This is the answer. Last year and this year, more than 80% answered yes, we have a policy. And let us look at the how in small companies, medium-sized or big companies, it's a little bit surprising for us. Nearly 90% in big companies, 80% in the small, medium companies, and also small companies, they've said more than 70% they have a policy. This is a little bit surprising for us, but it's a very good result. We have thought by preparing the questionnaire, it will be only the big companies. So this is very, very helpful for us. And also that we can go to SAP and say, you see, all small and medium companies have a policy. Maybe there's only which we have no idea which are written down in the policy. This we can ask maybe as a lesson. Yes, of course.
Was the questionnaire anonymous?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anonymous. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But maybe of interest, is this question maybe a little bit too generic?
Yes.
Opinion? Because I would see maybe 5 up to 6 aspects from the security point of view.
Yeah.
And yeah, about what we are now talking about.
Yes. Our idea is we will repeat this questionnaire at the beginning of 2020, and then it's our idea to ask more in detail. If you have a policy, which parts are in the policy? And then we can make some suggestions that the people can say what they have in the policy. Maybe one company said only, yes, we have an encryption policy. That means the security policy can be a part. And then we can ask a little bit in deeper. Yes, of course, it's our idea.
Our company has a general security policy, which is based on the law.
Yeah.
It is not specified on SAP system.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a general behavior, how to really work with a system.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm pointing to the same direction. What are the criteria that a policy must put, a security policy must put?
When we started the questionnaire, we have this idea. In the next, it's very good ideas. We also thought about that we will make this questionnaire a little bit more deeper. Of course, yes. Okay.
But as he already said, it's from the point it's too generic currently. I think the last thing a hacker is really actually going to an SAP system. He's trying to, even they have security policy. A mid-sized company, actually a colleague of mine works in a mid-sized company, they have SAP. The last thing what they hacked was the SAP system. They hacked much more vulnerable things like file servers, like really stuff which even they had a security. So they are dead by now because since 4 weeks they are hacked and they have no chance. Yeah. So rolling this up from SAP standpoint, even if there is something with rate of 9.8, it's a bit very, very generic to think that SAP has to do something because by default, look at the year 2000, everyone predicted SAP will collapse and nothing happened. So
the companies, we in the companies have also a lot of things to do. We have to handle with the vulnerabilities and with the sub-security nodes, of course, yes. Okay.
I think you can really start easier because if you have, for example, a password policy for even for SAP systems, that's quite enough to say, okay, you have we have a policy for subsystems. Yeah?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, very good discussion, very good. Then we asked, would you like to see more security by default? Yeah. I've seen when I ask you, would you like to have more security by default? Yes? Yes? No? No? Very good.
No, then the co-gems will die.
Okay.
And
now?
Inside track is getting boring because everything is secure.
Okay. The answers?
I want to have it, but I don't want to live with the consequences.
Okay, yeah. I understand. I'm working in the sub-security area. It's very helpful that we can talk about security by default or by design. Here, default, you can see the answers, more than 80% say yes, we will have. And this is, of course, you can say the question, of course, everybody will answer. So, but when we have to discuss with SAP that they will do this, normally a lot of people say never change a running system. And here we have a scenario, an answer. We go to SAP and say, we customers would like to have more security by default. And it's not only one company who will it, a lot of companies will have, and please go in this direction. And this also is helpful, this questionnaire, to talk with the SAP about this topic. Yeah, next one.
Sorry, was there no mid-size, large, medium-sized company
yes.
discussion?
Yes. I have not here in my presentation today, but it's like in all company size, they say yes, we would like to have.
Obviously.
Yeah. So no big difference.
Okay.
Next question about sub-security dashboard. What do you mean? What say the companies, or do you have in your company a sub-security dashboard?
I don't know if these words coming together, sub-security and a dashboard. I don't know how to bring that. Monitoring or the dashboard.
Maybe.
So I don't know if these two expressions fit.
Okay.
In a way that.
Yeah. What dashboard means?
You want to see traffic lights, right?
Yeah.
With a red light on if something is insecure.
Yes. And let me describe some topics. The dashboard would like to say you have maybe the SAP offered more than 50,000 vulnerabilities, hot news, and so on. That you can look on one side how much sub-security nodes do you have implemented. One topic. The other one, you must make security configurations like password length that you can see. You have defined some security configuration that you can see on one side. Maybe one company has 50 or 10 or more than 200 SAP systems. Are the security configurations, how much are implemented, and so on. Have you encryption? Is it installed or not? Is it enabled or not? This means the dashboard, yeah? And more than 70% say we have no dashboard. Because the SAP offers something like this. The SAP doesn't offer a dashboard. So we have to discuss, and also for the cloud solutions. When you go to SAP and say, for my cloud solutions are some maybe logging and monitoring enabled. The SAP must say, I don't know, we have to look, it's a cloud solutions, we have to do it for everybody. So we say, yes, and do it for everybody. Because the problem is if a hacker will go in and then a fraud analytic man will come and say, so let me see the logging monitoring details that I can see what will happen. And you say, I have no logging and monitoring. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So this also helps us. Yeah. Investments. I will go a little bit quicker. We see here, yes, the question was, have you made any investments? 40-50% say yes, it's good. On the other side, more than 50, also like 40 or 30% say no, we have done no investments. And this is a little bit critical in our opinion.
And actually the trend has shifted into an undesirable direction.
Yeah.
Even though, it could of course mean that everybody feels satisfied with their security infrastructure, so they don't need to.
If you are dealing with SAP security, you know There are no hot news implemented. You have no overview about configuration topics and so on. So
but it's
we
like,
know.
With your own health. As long as the government paid it, everyone went to the Kur, whatever. By the time they stopped it, they were asking people how much you invest for your health.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they requested?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because someone else did it for you.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's the same theory. People expecting that.
I think security is having security is basically doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Leaving away what is unnecessary. I mean, I cannot spend my day with implementing some 50 or whatever hot news every day, which are not relevant for me. The basic security is isolate the system. Yeah, don't have broad access. Yeah, make the decisions there, and don't think about the nitty-gritty and the fine granular hot news. You can run your whole life, but never reach the goal.
Yeah, but when we think about the hot news, it is necessary maybe that you only once in a year will make an upgrade, because then you get all hot news. But a lot of companies are doing this, don't do this. Maybe some systems are 3 or 4 years old. No patch will be done in this system. And this is critical, because you can read on the internet how you can use the vulnerabilities in the systems.
It's okay.
Yeah?
What I would need or think of is having some kind of scoping in the first place. If I don't expose my application server on the internet, I don't have to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can focus on another thing. So I would like to have some kind of scoping profile for my company that I can offer to SAP as a filter for the hot news in the marketplace, and also as some asset for the cloud software, for instance. So if I use cloud software from SAP, this is my security profile. This is what I expect.
But if you have on-premise solutions, you have to do it in your company for yourself.
Yes, of course.
Okay, I have to look a little bit on the time. Okay, investments. Big companies a little bit more investments than small companies. One explanation could be small companies are sometimes using more cloud solutions, and this is a discussion. Because the SAP or the hosting partner has to do these things. Okay, the topic of awareness training. We asked, are topics related to SAP, including in awareness? Only 12% say yes, we have training programs where SAP systems or SAP is included. It's not a good solution. It's a little bit surprising for us. So it's a lot of work to do in this area. Next question, segmentation. We ask, do SAP systems within your company operate on a separate, individually secure network? 33% say yes, our SAP network is not separated. And this is also a big topic today, because a lot of companies have their SAP systems, a sandbox system, and a very critical SAP system directly in a flat, in only one network. And you have no separation. So it's very easy for a hacker to go in the sandbox system and go directly to a very critical, maybe HR system. Therefore, you have to separate the systems. And it's not a new technique, but a lot of companies which maybe have started before 10 or 20 years with SAP have no separation. Okay, and then we asked, are the systems of your company directly or indirectly connected to the internet? You can see it here, 55 or 60% say yes, we have connected the system to the internet. Remains a question before. There you have to do, we have some topics to do. And here, big and small companies, large companies say maybe 70% are connected to the internet, medium-sized 50%, and small companies.
That would be the trend that a mid-sized company not use cloud software. Because somehow you have to expose it to the internet. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why this is also foreseeing the answer here. So.
Yeah. Okay, cloud concepts. What we asked, do cloud solutions require different security strategies and concepts? I can ask you, who would like to say yes? Yeah, no? You have no idea? Okay, yeah. More than 80% say yes, we need different concepts. Maybe you have, when you negotiate with your cloud hosting partner, that you can maybe once or two in a year to make an audit, to make a check in the cloud solution. Some companies forget it or forgot it. Okay, I have to go a little bit quicker. Yeah, cloud security. How much of a challenge is the integration of SAP cloud products? You can see maybe 80%, 38 and 42 say yes, it's a big challenge, because you must think in other concepts and so on. And this is also a reason that we go to SAP and we say to SAP, please make white papers and concepts also for cloud security. What companies have to do, the interfaces must be secure and so on.
This is more or less the question: how many customers are actually trying to integrate SAP cloud products? Because this gives the impression, let's say half and half, they know what to do, but in fact, it's the amount of customers that are really using cloud solutions. Sooner or later, in 5 years, this will change, because the only chance to do HR is whatever, SuccessFactors. Despite if it's unsecure or not, no one cares, because SAP decided to say
you have to use the cloud.
SuccessFactors is the fact that then you can have so many security stuff here. You have to do it, despite if it's unsecure or not.
Yeah, but the responsibility of the companies is to check if maybe a hosting partner will operate the systems with SAP security.
Actually, as a customer, I would review it and say, okay, thank you, I use another product. Isolate this, isolate this, put it into my secure network, use another software, and SAP can look how they sell it.
They have to do it, but they do it in 100%. Like we customers, we will see it. We have to discuss with SAP as a hosting partner. Today we have to discuss. They are not secure.
But if they cannot,
then you go to another partner.
Take another software.
Yeah. Of course, yes. This will happen. Okay, 5 minutes. I will go a little bit quicker. Here, the operation common data I've told you. We see in the questionnaire that a lot of companies use these guidelines for internal SAP securities. We see it also for orientation within the operation, but also, the third point, as a reference and discussion with management, management and board members. So it's very helpful to have updated guidelines. Okay, how satisfied are with SAP is not so important. The last question. Also interesting, we asked what are the 3 main topics. We give this for a solution, and then the participants of the survey could move 3 elements, select 3 elements in this on the right side. And if you look only on the first rank and second rank, what topics can you see here? SAP security by default, security guidelines, patch management, awareness, interface security, patch management, only one-time encryption, secure code development. No one today will look at Ziesemer or enterprise threat detection integration. HANA security, it's not so important. Then also this is secure code development or cloud security. What does it mean for us? The basics of security topics must be done first. And enterprise or Ziesemer or enterprise threat detection connection far away today from the companies. So it's a long way to go. It's only a comment, so not so interesting. But here, these are security areas listed in the security recommendations. So some topics like front-end security, communication security, security audit log, I mentioned sometimes, user and authorization areas. And when we look at these areas, maybe custom code security, SAP cannot help us. We have to do it in the companies. But here security audit log, SAP can do something for us. Also in the communication security, the secure network communication, the protocol was very difficult some years before. Today it's easier to use because we have discussed with SAP and they do some things. And also here secure configuration. Security by default, we have to discuss with SAP and they have to do it for us. So, and the SAP will do some things. Okay, what was very interesting, in February this year, there is a big meeting here, it was in Bonn. 2,500 people come together, and the executive member for technology for the part, he take this on the wall in this presentation. We need security by default, and we need security management tools. So this is also help us for us, because the executive board from the German-speaking SAP user group, they understand how important is SAP security, and this is also a good result, because when I think 5 years before, there was no feeling no awareness for SAP security. Okay, what are the takeaways? I have mentioned this 4. Security by design, by default, good dashboarding, we need security concepts, we need good updated white papers, we need also security solutions for on-premise. And my last 2 slides are what have we customers, what we find out in the survey, which are important for the customers. First is gain insight into security and the landscape of your SAP systems in order to plan further activities. It's one important point. Second one, start off with the basics of security, like interface security, encryption, and security settings. We see a lot of people, a lot of companies don't do this, and we have to do it. Third one, create awareness of all levels, managers, with executives and with employees. Perhaps you know it, a lot of companies or the executive member board, we discuss it, say we have to install new applications, they must run, but security is not so important. We will take the risk. When will something happen, then the discussion is big. And you have to update the SAP security guidelines, because a lot of innovation speed is in the market. We use new applications, and we have also to look at these things. So my last 3 points. If you install new SAP systems, then you have to use all security settings. I mentioned it before, security by design. And when you are, and also think about the outsourced systems, which means the cloud solutions, you have to integrate some safety in your company. Sometimes some people will forget it. You have to look at the interfaces. They are very important. And the last point is also I said to the SAP customers, go to SAP and talk with them about the security settings, because also the SAP, the companies, they must help us in security settings, as I mentioned before. And then I'm at the end of my presentation, and if you have some questions, it was a good discussion. It was a pleasure for me to be here. So thanks, and have a nice day. Thank you. Questions? Okay, you are hungry, I think. Okay. Good.
We have got 8 minutes.